5, 5, 4,
Is that you,
4,
Gandalf?
3, 2,
Gandalf?
1.
You've gone very high pitched. So, a big hello to you. It's great to see you, and I hope I find you well. I'm Jenny Kirk. This is Weird and the Monday Club, and there's Cupboard Monkey over there as well. So it's really great to see you. I hope I find you well. We got Russell Ben. Well, I did, but then
I've just realised that I need to download the new advert. The sponsor.
The new one.
The new sponsor.
Right, less jibber jabber, more downloading.
I am.
Okay, have you downloaded it?
No. Because
Okay.
everything's... Just you do what you need to, and I'll do this.
Okay, then. So, hello everybody. Great to see you. Hope I find you well. We're going to be having Steve Harrison, a.k.a. SHGP Media, coming on. Now, there's been a lot going on in the background for quite some time. And Les Cliff is involved. You remember Les Cliff, the Jab Light Whittler? No, not now, Les. Not now. He's been working really hard behind the scenes. The David Clarke Foundation at the Model Railway there has been really heavily involved. I believe actually there's some other YouTubers involved as well. Because I've seen that Roger Windsor has done a lot of the dead rail locomotives that Les uses on the David Clarke Model Railway. So there's a lot of people doing this in the background because they genuinely love railways. They're genuinely really into this amazing model railway, and it's not about YouTube clicks, it's not about fame or anything, and or any of that nonsense. But what has happened is that the people who run the foundation, and it's got a board, just like I think pretty much every charity does. They've decided that they wanted the space that the model railway is in to put in some shops and have served a notice to quit to the railway, I believe. And that's where the problems have started, because this came out of the blue, and Dave Clarke, who founded the foundation, he also very passionate about railways. He was very involved in the Great Central Railway, the preservation group. So he is the person who put up the money for the Great Central Railway double tracking project. And this was to be able to recreate a double track mainline in preservation, something that really no other railway particularly has to any great degree. The idea was that between several stations they wanted double track, properly signalled with signal boxes and all of the stuff that you need. You've just pulled them out.
Jen, just let it go. Keep talking. I'm trying to do something.
It's when she does the face. It's like... So, anyway, that's who Dave Clarke was. Sadly, he passed away some time ago. One of his legacies was the railway. Now, it's already moved once. And when they moved it to its current location, the building was actually largely built around it. So it was transported on several HGVs and moved into place through where the wall then was built. And so it's kind of built in. Moving it is not really a feasible option. So all of this blew up, and you can imagine all the people who've been heavily involved with this. I think for going back, I mean, it's not a new thing. The Dave Clarke Railway has been around for somewhere, I think, in the region of certainly multiple decades. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking 50 years or so. But you know, you can imagine a lot of people devastated. And in these days of mental health being so important, and the actual mental health gain from being involved with things like model railways, it really was an important asset. So please call him David Clarke, not Dave, says Leslie. So David Clarke, sorry. I don't know where I got Dave from.
A lot of YouTubers have been
using
the wrong name.
Dave.
They've been using a name wrongly because, and this is why I've got in the thumbnail, the truth.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of misinformation.
So that's where we're up to. So we're getting SHGP Media on. We're going to be bringing him in a moment to talk about this. He's put out a video on the subject. He's actually been down there to film the David Clarke Railway. I stand corrected. I was only going off what people are posting.
I understand, and that was part of the problem. That's why I think it's so important that we actually do this.
Yeah, right. So who have we got in? So we've got Les Cliff, we've got Sue at Pudham Junction, Middleport Junction, Werewolf JTG, David Scott, the London Cheesehead. What a great! Some of these great names: Flymer Chen 1, Rink Morley, Richard Knowles. Andy Friars Junction, Buckle Skelly Station, great to see you in. We've got Dave Double M, Mike Lane TT120, Jordan Hunter, member for 14 months, Simon Trains Model Railway, member for 17 months. Gronk it up, Gronk it up, Gronk it up. Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes.
Your rights may vary.
So, Tracks Tinkering, P7U, hello to you, Chobberton Junction, Zamtech. So, we've got a lot of people, and I know a lot of, there's a lot of lurkers in the group actually involved in the David Clarke Railway, the David Clarke Foundation. So, things have been moving quite quickly, and as soon as some media interest has come in, so I know Railway Modeler, I think, are featuring an article on this, and one of the things that we actually suggested right back at the beginning when we heard about this, we had a was it with Les that we had a chat, or was it actually on the Monday Club we talked about this, about seeing whether there was anything in the documents.
We talked about it on Monday Club.
I think it was on Monday Club. So
and James Petts very kindly suggested the legal help of a group that is a non-profit.
Oh,
so,
right. So
yeah.
James Petts. So big up to James Petts as well for helping out. Is of course the resident legal beagle here on the channel.
Well, please do not go to him with all of your legal woes.
Right. So Les Cliff is the foundation is called the Shuttlewood Clarke Foundation.
Yes.
So
I believe named after his wife or his mother. I can't remember which.
Yes. So Alan Reynolds, Buckland Junction. Good evening to you. There's a few latecomers I've noticed. Yeah. Oh,
A
Gandalf.
Monday clubber is never late to the wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. So
You're welcome.
apparently it was his mother.
That was it.
So there we are. Simon Trains Mother Railway says, I approve of James Petts helping. Absolutely.
He's a good chap.
Absolutely. Impeccably dressed. So are we going to try and get SHGP
We
Media?
are, but first...
Oh, a few messages from our sponsors. So we'll be right back after these messages. We're proud to be sponsored by The Model Centre, your ultimate destination for great models and the home of model customization for enthusiasts around the world. Starting your first layout? Perhaps you're perfecting a lifelong build with passion. You'll find everything you need in one shop, from brand new locomotives and rolling stock at market-leading prices to an amazing selection of pre-owned model listings, uploaded live every day on the website at 5 p.m. Seeking more realism? TMC's talented workshop team offers professional weathering and realistic detailing. Explore top brands, expert advice, and a community that shares your love of the hobby, in-store or online at themodelcentre.com.
Monday Club, your online model rail club for all the news, gossip, layout tours and more with your host, broadcaster and model maker, Jennifer Kirk. So we've got a message in the chat there. Iron Horse Railways, totally a cult. Yes, what a cult.
Yeah, you complete and utter cult. Yeah, looking at you.
Thank you so much to TMC, the Model Centre, for sponsoring. And if the audio was too high, I apologise. I'm going to
it will get
in a moment.
It will get. Daryl Lewis says, "Loved the Iron Horses vid today." Yes, and on JK2 we put out a video as well.
Yes, we did.
Buggle Skelly Station says, "Jen, can you stop with all the adverts and sponsorship, please? It's getting so grifty now." Hey, I've only just started. Every single Facebook post I'll put out, I'm going to be adding in there saying, "Oh, you only get a little bit of the content unless you pay me money."
It's This is and we absolutely understand where people are coming from with this. The anger and annoyances that we're seeing, we feel them too.
Yeah,
because let's face it. The last thing we need is some Johnny-come-lately with their hand out wanting cash just because they've bought a model railway, or they've found one from a club that was about to throw it away, or they've got it from their dad, or whatever.
Yeah, anywho, meanwhile, back at the ranch. So, are we going to get SHGP Media on? I'm going to let you
says he's a born cult.
Yes. Yes, you are. You are, amongst other things, Iron Horse, looking at you. He's like, I'm sure I recognise that odious
right cult.
Yes. So, we're just going to be getting Steve Harrison from SHGP Media on. And actually, the fact that I've made so many mistakes in the intro, people go, "Oh,
just demonstrates how much is out there."
Yeah, it shows you how much Chinese whispering's going on, because I just quickly glanced at a post that was being shared by Backman. Somebody was banging on about this, and so it's very easy to get it wrong. So we're here to get it right.
That is the idea.
So the Shuttleworth Clarke Foundation, it was David Clarke who was the particular gentleman who set up the railway. And the thing about the railway is that it's what they call dead rail. And what do I mean by that? I mean the locomotives are powered by batteries rather than through the rails. The rail is completely dead, and it's fully signalled and interlocked. That's what makes it so special. And if you've seen videos, I know Les has shared quite a lot of videos and pictures over on Friends of Notlobia. It really is quite impressive. So I believe that we've got Steve on the line. So Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of feedback, but yeah, I can hear you.
We're not getting any feedback at this end.
All good now.
All good now.
Now.
Brilliant. So it's great to see you. I hope you're well. Met you briefly at the Great Electric Train Show. But you've been a fixture of the Monday Club chat for longer than I can remember. How are you doing? And tell us a little bit about your own YouTube channel first as well. Let's get the plug in.
Okay. Yeah, so I started my channel. So I've got two channels. So for the sake of the Monday Club, we'll concentrate on the main one, which is railway, model rail related. The other one's all military related and aviation stuff, and there's cinematic films and all sorts of stuff. So it's quite varied. But from the model railway side of things, I used to go to model railway exhibitions with my oldest daughter from when she was very little. And I used to do still photography. So that's what I've done for the last couple of decades, and that's where SHGP comes from, because my surname used to be Harrison Green, so Stephen Harrison Green Photography. That's what it stands for.
Right.
Then when I started doing videos, obviously it made sense to just keep the SHGP as the watermark, because that's what people knew it as, and then just put media on the end of it. That's where the channel came from. Anyway, I moved into doing videos a couple of years ago, and started filming some of the layouts at exhibitions. But for two main reasons, really. One of them, so my father-in-law is disabled, in a wheelchair, and a lot of the exhibitions that we go to, the layouts aren't at a height appropriate for him, so he can't see them. And also, it's very difficult for him to get around, particularly when it's very busy. So, particularly me recording these videos was able to then show him the the footage which I've got. Now, these seem to be quite popular, and people start to like it, and subscribers start to go out from that. And the channel has now reached a point where I've just gone over 4,000. So I'm still relatively small in the fry in the grand scheme of things of YouTube stuff. But the videos are proven to be very popular, more in particular amongst exhibition organisers and exhibitors themselves. Because what I do is I not only just produce a 1 hour special on the exhibition I attend, but each layout which I film will be uploaded its own individual video.
Right.
And from that, the exhibitors can then use that video to advertise themselves and advertise their layout. Exhibitors, organisers can then look through the channel to identify layouts that they've not necessarily heard of before, and they usually got the contact details on there to add those, and then they take those videos and then use them to promote the show. So it's a case of everybody wins from basically what I do. And one of the key reasons why I do it is I like to showcase is what I see as the best of the hobby is people going out and actually producing their own layouts and their own content and showing it to people, getting out there as a community. And for me, showing some of this work, some of the layouts which I filmed recently are absolutely incredible, and sharing them with an audience that would never see it. I've got quite an international following, particularly in Far East as well, who like watching the content, particularly in America as well.
I mean, we get a lot of people in places like Australia, Thailand, India, Canada, US, even down into South America. And it's like you say, these are people who just wouldn't be able to get to these shows normally, because they're on the other side of the world from their point of view. But also, you're getting to shows that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily, also even within the UK, be able to get to. I know from our point of view, we've only once been down to the South Coast. We did a show at the Bluebell Railway, and of course then you see a lot of different layouts that may not necessarily go to the shows that you see in person. So when somebody films that and puts the video out, it's actually a great opportunity to see some of the great modelling that's out there that you might not necessarily come across in the shows that you'd normally go to. And you know, it's one of the things I think some of the big shows, you tend to see the same layouts a lot of the time. So it's great to actually see what else is out there.
Yeah, you've literally just preempted one of the points I was going to make, particularly because I'm East Anglia based, so I'm in the Fens.
Yeah.
And we do have quite a lot of exhibitions around here, but it's always the same layouts going around. So it's kind of like, oh, I'll bring my one to your show if you bring yours to my show kind of thing. And for ages, I was going around and it was literally just becoming the same layouts at shows. And I would look at some shows and particularly the layout list, and sometimes I have to ask them, what ones have you got going? And all of them I've filmed in the last couple of months, so there was no point in me going there. So what I tend to do now is I now have a more of a 2 to 3 hour journey radius around where I am now, where I'll look at potentially travelling to a show. Because from the small little proceeds which I get tying in with what Iron Horse's content, recent video was to talk about, those little proceeds now help justify me doing the 3 hour each way round trips to doing these exhibitions now, because beforehand that would never have been justifiable at all. And I'm not making any profit from it, but it's helping to me to fund going doing that, and that's opened up a huge amount of layouts wise. So whereas say last year I did a top 10 compilation for all the different gauges and sort of different themes and stuff, and I've done some themed compilation videos as well, I've got a huge amount now of extra layouts that were not in my databases, if we call it that, of videos which are on the channel. And at the moment, actually, because my internet connection is so poor in the Fens, it can take sometimes 24 hours at least to upload a 1 hour video.
Oh my
and
gosh.
The backlog of videos, which I've got my computers on all the time now, uploading individual ones and that as well. I've got enough now to go and carry me on now for the next 2 weeks, I think, of almost daily uploads. And we've got the Spalding show coming up this weekend as well, so a plug for them, which is a local one to me. I'll be there both days over the weekend, hopefully. There's been quite a few layouts there which I've not covered before, but again, a lot that I have, obviously. But that's got some really quality layouts going to that as well.
Absolutely. But we're here to talk about primarily the David Clarke Railway. And this is something, actually, I've been aware of it for a very long time, because my very good friend, Les Cliff, I believe you know as well, he moved in retirement to be closer to family down towards sort of that Loughborough, Leicester way. and he became involved with the David Clarke Railway, amongst other projects. And it's a very interesting railway. Can you tell us a little bit about the railway itself?
Yeah, so David Clarke and his team, they initially built it. It was about 40 years ago, and he had a drawing office in Mount Sorrel, which is where it was initially built. And that time it was a little bit shorter than what it is currently now. And he, like you mentioned at the start of the show, he built it as kind of like this. What's the way they describe it? It's like a technical exercise to basically show what could be done, and creating in miniature a realistic prototypical version of a working railway, involving all the signals and the block detection and all that all works as well, and the actual, say, proper working signal box, which is all wired in with hand-built levers and rods and everything, as you would in a real signal box, connecting it all together. Then it was relocated when he founded the foundation. It's the Shuttlewood, not Shuttleworth. I used to call it Shuttleworth, and a lot of people do. It's Shuttlewood. It's not to be confused with the aircraft collection in Biggleswade. It's completely separate to them. So the Shuttlewood Foundation he founded, and when he did that, he relocated the railway away from this drawing office in Mount Sorrel to its current location. And one of the main reasons for that is literally the location. The barn which he put it in was outside his house. So for security reasons, and that, he had it there. So. And then over the next 10 years, they worked on renovating it, putting a lot of it back together. They extended it, and then built up the building and that around it as well. And I say it was a process of 10 years. And you think like the current volunteer base are in there now. When they did this, these guys were in their 40s, middle age sort of things, and it took them 10 years to do it now. The original team now, those that are left, are in their 90s. They don't have the years or the fitness or anything to move it again and go through the sort of process that was beforehand. And they certainly don't have the manpower to do that either.
And also, I mean, moving it as well. Actually, I've just got Les Cliff is come in the chat. He says it's 52 years old. So my guess of about 50 years was actually the ballpark. So then it was built as a signalling exercise. He said he sold a Ferrari P4 for £5 million, and that's the money that he used to start the foundation. But when it was moved last, I was talking to Les about this some time ago. It took several articulated lorries to move it, and
3 lorries and a crane.
And because the building was in the process of construction, they were able to take it in through what is now a wall. So the idea of just taking it out over a weekend is completely ridiculous. You'd
have to cut it into sections to fit through a fire escape.
Yes.
Whereas, I say, it is possible, but the actual feasibility of it, it's just not practical.
I mean, you
cost-wise, it just wouldn't work. So when you look at it, I think it would have to have a significant financial backer behind it, and someone who is willing to do the work and take it on to do it, which I don't think it's going to get, or it's going to go in a skip. And if that happened, I know a lot of people. I've rescued a layout myself, much to my own misfortune. It's 36 foot long in boxes in the garage, but in this case, it'd be like I would be looking to at least rescue something like that, the station areas and stuff in sections, and then potentially offering to like convert them into exhibition layouts, so then the work can still be seen and stuff. But these are worst case scenarios. We're kind of like between myself and a number of other people who are doing like things behind the scenes and trying to get things to work. There's a case of there's planning for the worst and thinking, okay, all right, so we need to have a backup plan if it does need to be moved. But the main thing is trying to convince the trustees that they've made a really stupid decision.
Yeah.
And not just that alone, the fact that they've made a really stupid decision the way they've managed it for the last 30 years.
So the foundation itself, what's the reasoning behind them now saying that they want the railway gone? Why has this come about? And do we know what the reasoning is behind it?
Yeah, we do. Basically, it's finances. The charity is struggling financially, as all charities pretty much are in 2025. That is understandable. And they see it as the only revenue stream which they've got coming in are the charity shops on site. Now, these charity shops, they're selling tat, to be blunt. We're talking 50p teddy bears, second-hand jigsaws, maybe some old clothes. And they've come out with some very questionable figures for what they seem to think they make on these charity shops, and that's a whole other matter, which I'm not going to go into. But they've decided that they think, because they've got this building on site, which they're currently paying to heat and put electric in, and it's just got a model railway in it, which they don't understand, they don't know anything about, they don't understand the history or what's involved with it. The trustees have never actually been to visit it, apart from to hand them the eviction notice, apparently. And it doesn't make them any profit. So from their side of things, they're saying, right, if we get this model railway out, we'll say we'll put the token message on the end. Yes, we're going to find them a new home, which is just not going to happen. And they'll say, oh, right, we'll put some more charity shops in there, and we can expand the charity shops and basically put more stuff in there and hopefully draw more people in. But as we've all said, charity shops are 10 a penny on the high street. I mean, because that's like where I am in Ramsey. I mean, you talk about at least about five to 10 different charity shops in the local area. That alone is not an attraction to bring people to the site. Actually, properly managing and advertising a heritage model railway is very unique and actually very interesting, and there's a lot on there to entertain people, not just enthusiasts, but families and all that as well, and people interested in engineering and stuff.
What is the actual function of the foundation? I mean, what is it that they do other than running charity shops? What is the money being raised for?
The quote I have on my video was it was created to ease loneliness and vulnerabilities amongst those who are disabled and the elderly. So basically, it's a wellness charity designed to help those in need, basically. And they do all sorts of stuff. I showcase it on the early start of the video, saying they have all these different courses on site. They have two sites, basically. It's quite a large area. It's on both sides of a main road. And on one side, they have kind of like yoga retreats and all that sort of stuff where people can pay to go and do those. So they make money out of doing those. They have a cafe on site and they have that sort of things. But they haven't really done anything to push the wellness and the mental health side of things of the model railway.
I mean, that's one of the things that I'm always a huge advocate for is the mental health benefits of, for example, model railways. You know, any hobby, but particularly model railways, and it goes above and beyond just the activity side of it. You know, there's the social side of it, and we found this through lockdown. A lot of people suddenly found the rug pulled out from underneath them because their lifeline had been going to model railway clubs, going to exhibitions, and suddenly that was taken away, and it was very difficult for a lot of people. And is there no thought from them actually using the model railway as a part of what the charity can offer? Clearly some people know about it because they're involved with it. I know Les is a fairly recent, in the grand scheme of things, volunteer there. So why don't they make more of the model railway?
Exactly. It's frustratingly, since the announcement from the trustees, it's been radio silence. They're not engaging. They haven't engaged with anyone. When people have, from what I've been told, those who have taken on board the recommendation to email them and to voice their disapproval of the decision, and that I've just had the copy and paste and out of their press release just sent back to them. Not engagement, not interested in meeting any of the points. A business plan was drawn up and submitted to them. That was within the team. One of the issues that we have at the moment is particularly amongst the older guys. They've been involved with this model railway now for several decades. They are really hurt, to put it bluntly, by the decision. They don't want to stay any of it, and particularly amongst the older guys, they have no faith that if they stayed and left it there after they're gone, which, let's be honest, won't be long. They haven't got many years left, and then they're getting on very old now. What's going to happen to it when they're gone? They don't have the younger lot coming in to take it on board and to do stuff. So from a lot of their side of things, we'll try and combat the fact that amongst their side of things, there's, I won't say defeatist attitude, but on their points thinking, right, we'll just wrap this up here. This will be the end of the legacy, and we'll do what we will with it. From my side of things, and particularly a lot of the guys who've been involved in some of the forums as well, and there's a lot of chat going on in the background, and thanks to them, because they've been brilliant coming forward and stuff. There's a lot of very intelligent and experienced people coming on board with this and questioning things and putting things forwards and helping to write up business plans and stuff to submit to the trustees, so that come the 19th of December, if they haven't overturned this decision, or more importantly, offered the 6-month stay of execution, which we've been pushing for, which is the main thing, to say, right, okay, give us 6 months. We will show you how you manage this properly. We will show you how many people you can bring in through the door. We will introduce an entry fee. We will show you actually you will make far more money from doing this than you will a charity shop. Oh, and by the way, here are all these benefits that come from doing this, which actually meet what you set out for as your objectives of a charity. So that is the key objective for what we're going for at the moment. What hasn't been helpful, though, is we're still waiting on a press release from the model railway team. It's been over 2 weeks now since the decision, and we're none the wiser as to what the actual model railway team actually want to do. If they want to stay, fantastic, we're going to be on board to help them. If they want to relocate and they have somewhere potentially to go, okay, yeah, we might not necessarily agree with that, but we will respect their wishes and we'll go above and beyond to try and help them. At the moment, we're kind of twiddling our thumbs. There's not really much we can do. We can't, like I say, well, the article has gone out to Railway Modeler. As far as I'm aware, they're the only ones at the moment, and that was done kind of offline stuff. But that was just an awareness piece.
Have you contacted some of the other magazines, people like Phil Parker at BRM or Mike Wilde at Hornby Magazine?
So they are aware. It's not something which I've done because it's not really my place to, particularly on that side of things, not without their wishes. So basically, we've gone to them and said, right, we are prepared to do this. We are prepared to help you and go above and beyond and bring in extra content creators and produce videos together to you, advertise stuff, do leaflets, drop them at exhibitions, promote the stuff. Literally, we do loads of stuff we can do. But we don't want to do it unless if they're suddenly going to turn around and say, right, we're going to do all this work for you, and they're going to say, no, we're not. We're just going to close it. We're going to rip it up on the 19th of December. So it's kind of stuck. So hoping that from the recent, because apparently on Friday they had about 50 people through the door. It was half term as well in that area, which was great. But frustratingly, they missed an opportunity with that because we could have pushed that in that week to have drawn in far more people in that area. Yes, it's half term this week where I am, and potentially you could get an overflow in there. But realistically, you're not going to pull that many people out of county in to come and visit this attraction because they don't know about it. That's more the later thing that we will do by advertising it and spreading it word and making it an actual attraction that people want to travel to, a bit like you would say with Pending, because it's Pending quality. You've got other places like, I mentioned a video like Roxford Miniature World, Ainrec down in Kent. These are specific built model railway attractions. I mean, even to a less extent, Rail World in Peterborough has a wildlife side of things, but it is centered around the model railway stuff. So they do generate proceeds and pulling people. And it's a case of promoting that to bring them in.
There's a very popular one down at Trago Mills, actually. We went round there, we filmed it, and it got an incredible response to that video. And all of these things, one of the common theme where you see them at other places is they're treated as an asset, which they are. And it feels a little bit like, almost like a fait accompli, that it's being presented, we want you out. But one of the things I did talk with Les originally about is there anything in writing that gives the railway any kind of protection? Going back to the days of David Clarke moving it there, was anything put in place that could be used to actually say, actually, the Board of Trustees is going against the ethos and the wishes of the Shuttlewood Clarke Foundation, as is, either in documentation, or even in interviews, articles, video footage where he's actually said, this is important because that you can then go and say, actually, you're acting contrary to the wishes of the founding of the foundation.
Short answer to that is yes. there are things that are going on at present. There are some legal stuff involved, which I can't go into further.
That's
It
understandable.
is being looked at by people far more knowledgeable than me.
Because I mean that was the route which I thought would have been the
most obvious route, certainly,
a very powerful route.
Yeah.
And I think possibly part of the problem is that you can see how important this is for wellness and mental health of people. The fact that the people involved, a lot of them, it's absolutely been so destructive to them to learn that, we're just turfing you out. You can see how important this was to the mental well-being of these people. And, there's so much opportunity to bring more people in, use it as an opportunity to get newer, younger volunteers involved, and actually, promote the virtues of, this can be part of the portfolio of wellness, of improving people's mental health.
Yeah, it's like, if it actually was advertised, but no, because I mean, like, people who've been involved in the model railway hobby for decades have never heard of this place. And when you show them the pictures of it, as I say in the video, they're like, "Oh, I can't believe I've never heard of it. It's amazing. Oh, it looks fantastic. I'd like to go and see it. When's it open? Oh, it's only open for a couple of days during the week. Why is it not open at weekends?" And that's the sort of thing that you start going down and thinking there are far better ways of managing this. And it's like, for all those little things where they would come back and say, "Oh, we don't have the volunteers to open it at the weekends." Well, then there's always a reply to it where you could say, "Well, actually, no, if you did do that, you then bring in the younger volunteers. And then from the younger volunteers coming in, you've then got the longevity of operating it as an attraction, because then they learn the skills that are required to operate it when the older guys who are now in the years are passing on."
Yeah, and that's it. That what they actually need is, in many respects, it sounds to me like having a press officer whose job is to promote the railway, to get people involved. Unfortunately, it does feel a little bit like that's become too late, and perhaps this is something that
from what I have heard, is it wasn't necessarily the model railway team's fault for not advertising it. The trust were actually anti-advertising the railway, if you can believe that, which just doesn't make sense.
I mean, it does. I mean, obviously, I understand that we can't speculate, but it does. It does make me wonder. There's something deeper involved, particularly where it doesn't sound like there's any kind of consultation. They've just been served with this notice. But I know from talking with Les, they're saying that there's been some upheaval with the trustees. Has the amount of publicity that this has drawn actually affected any kind of change?
Some stuff has happened. I'm not going to comment on it publicly because I don't know how public the information is. So therefore, to protect people, I don't want to say. But yeah, I'm hoping these emails are being. I mean, someone's replying to them. So
it's not being set as an auto reply.
I mean, who knows? But yeah, they've been out their social media was tied down, not allowing any comments or response to it and things like that. So it's been quite difficult actually to get people's things. The main thing is for people to say, show the report, say if you can't visit, yes, by all means send the email, register your disapproval on it. You're an extra voice against this decision, and every little bit helps. But the main thing that we're stressing, if you can get over to it on a Friday, and we're saying Friday, it is open Wednesdays and Fridays, but Wednesdays is a bit unreliable at the moment, unfortunately. So Fridays is the key day to actually visit it between 10 o'clock and 3 p.m. If you can get there, please do so. But more importantly, if you do go there, ask them, have they got the visitor book? They should have a visitor book. Please record on that. You don't need to give your full address, but just record whereabouts you've travelled from to come and visit this. So they can actually say, all right, recently we've had these numbers through who've travelled here. Yeah. But also, really importantly, if you do visit, go and spend some money in the cafe shop. Go and get yourself a bacon sandwich and a cup of tea. Stick your head in the charity shops. Maybe buy a second-hand teddy bear or something. You're not going to use it, whatever. It's 50p. But they've seen someone's come in, they've visited the model railway. Let them know in the charity shop, we've come in to visit the model railway. Oh, by the way, we've come in and also got stuff in the charity shops. That's what the trustees will notice. They will notice the extra footfall coming in relation to that. Because at the moment, all they've got to pull people in is a cafe, which is a perfectly fine cafe, and some charity shops. Yeah, that's great. They don't advertise the model railway.
And I think actually
so
the model
they're not going to pull any
railway...
extra people by just saying, oh, we've got another charity shop. Whereas if they actually say, we've got a unique model railway attraction here, an indoor attraction during the winter months, which is warm. You don't have to worry about paying for your heating. It's a warm location. You can come and visit that. There's other stuff that are going on there. There's the walks that are in the area. You can bring the children on a rainy day. It's a cheap day out. And it's just really like basic stuff, really,
and I think
that will pull people in and then really benefit the foundation. So
I think
it's a key time to do it, really, the winter months, really.
Yeah, I think it's very important to actually demonstrate how much of an asset it can be by doing that. But I've just we've got a comment here saying it is public knowledge one director of the trust has resigned, so may or may not be related. I don't know that. But also, if things go down the route where it has to move, is it possible to actually say, well, okay, look, it's unreasonable to say you have to be out by X date, given the cost of moving it, given the logistics of moving it, and actually saying, well, look, if you're going to force us to move, you need to actually make that happen. And not by just going in there and cutting it up and destroying it. But I say, if you want it out, this is what it's going to cost. So pay up, or we can't move. And actually,
they've gone on record now on their statement of saying we will make every effort to find a new home. So from that side of things, they've put themselves forward to say, okay, you've said you're going to help relocate this. On the flip side, it's their asset, so if they can't find a home for it, then as far as they're concerned, well, we'll just get rid of it because it's ours to do what we want with.
But that then comes down to what paperwork actually there is to actually kind of give a legal grounding, not just to the railway's existence, but to why it's there, the ethos of why it's there, and what kind of protections are written into the trust's founding documents, because by the sound of it, the railway was there before the trust was.
Yeah, it's like I say, he started that beforehand, and when he founded the foundation, he relocated it there. So it's effectively been there since day one.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's kind of like, it's a foundation where the founder's name is in the name of the charity, and his legacy is that railway that's on site. And yet there is nothing there on site to advertise or say anything that's there, or even anything on site that says anything about them.
Les has actually said in the chat, he said that they actively just won't advertise it. It feels like it's being sort of squeezed out, and has been for quite some time. But there's a lot of people in the chat saying they'd never heard of this. It's like the best kept secret of Leicestershire. And
when you actually go and look at it, the detail it's old school modelling. So you have to accept that you're not going to get something and you're going to see like, oh, laser cut, detail, 3D printed, and static grass. You're not going to see any of that. What you are going to see is proper artisan work.
Yeah.
So this is where people have taken a long time to make something and made it with love and care.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see that.
It sounds like it could very easily be marketed as the Pendon of Leicestershire.
Yeah.
It sounds, certainly from the pictures and the videos that Les has shared over the years, it is of the quality where you could say, this has the potential of being a hell of an asset, of being something that could be really quite well known, that could actually probably bring in far more footfall than a blooming charity shop would. It just seems that it's been kept secret. And, maybe one option would be to approach someone like the people who run Pendon and say, look, is there anything you can do to help us to make this? That
has been done. That's one thing I can come forward and say. Not necessarily Pendon, but people who are experienced in operating these sort of attractions as legitimate businesses that fund themselves is actively being looked on. There are people involved with it. I can say that. Obviously, I'm not going to comment
I understand.
Stuff, but
it just
people are
feels
involved.
Like a sorely underused resource that's just being squandered by not being advertised, not being promoted by the trust. And it just feels so short-termist to go, oh, we want that space for a charity shop. How many charity shops does one location need? And
one example that I can give, which we put forward a recommendation. So the fact that David Clarke was integral in the foundation of the Great Central Railway. Great Central Railway is 5 miles down the road.
Yes.
They have numerous events, and one of the events that they have is a model railway weekend.
Yes.
You put on a heritage shuttle bus called the Shuttlewood Shuttle, it writes itself, which travels from the Great Central and brings punters over to visit the David Clarke Railway. They will bring in one weekend far more people than they ever had footfall going into a charity shop.
I
guarantee, but not even 6 months, maybe even a year. Yeah. So you think how many thousands of people turn up on the Great Central weekend for a big event?
And you think all those people go, oh, there's a cafe, we'll have our lunch whilst we're here. And before you know it, it's a massive asset that can be used. And it's what I mean by an asset that's being squandered by being hidden away and not promoted. Is, this is something that could actually earn the trust far more than anything else. It could actually, if marketed right, if run in the right way, this could be the thing that actually pays for all the other activities. Forget about, selling bric-a-brac and jigsaws with missing pieces. The model railway has the potential. You look at miniature Wunderland, you look at places like Pendon, and you look at places that are an attraction in their own right and that will bring in really good amounts of footfall, and with that the spending power. And it beggars belief that the trust cannot recognise that they're sitting on the best asset that they will ever have on their site.
If you look at it from the side of from what the Shuttlewood name is and means to people, very few people have heard of it apart from those directly involved with it. When people say, "Oh, the Shuttlewood Foundation," they immediately think Shuttleworth, which is a brand in its own right. So they're going to benefit in some ways from the positive word of Shuttleworth, but all they're getting now is massive negative press from what they're currently doing with the railway. No one's talking about the Shuttlewood Clarke Foundation in a positive light at the moment, and there is a lot of negative press out there. They turn around on this and actually kind of wake up and see the green light on this and go, "Oh, hang on a minute, we can actually do things. We can do things better." And as I say in my video, have a word with yourselves. There's better things you can be doing here, and you can actually generate a hell of a lot of positive word that's going to benefit your foundation as a charity overall through this model railway. And it's there. It's set up. It's not going to cost you anything. There are people on hand right now willing to do this for free. Extra volunteers coming on board just on the fact that it's announced to be closed.
And the thing is that you would get volunteers who might come to help on the railway and actually then volunteer in other things. Go, actually, I'll do an hour or 2 hours in the charity shop or volunteer in the cafe, and before you know it, you have a healthy supply of volunteers. There's so much potential here. It does feel wrong that it's not being utilised to the benefit of the charity, and it just feels very short-sighted. But hopefully we can shine a light on this. Already we've got a lot of people in the comments saying, they never knew about this railway, but now they do. And obviously they can find out more from your video that goes into great depth on this, and be able to send an email, I guess, not just to the trustees, but maybe this is something where approaching the local MP to the area might be an avenue to gain some support. MPs from any party political persuasion don't like to turn down the potential to schmooze and look like they can sweep in and save everything. So maybe this.
Well, I know a lot of media contacts have been given the heads up and approached, but until we get this press release from the railway, we can't move forward on anything. So that's to say, if any of them are watching this, which I hope they are.
I know that Les Cliff is in the chat. And
get that press out, make a decision on what you want to do, and we'll support you. Regardless of what it is, we will have our support. But we're really encouraging you to fight and stay.
And actually, Ham Shackleton says, asks whether you'd seen his suggestion approaching their black belt barrister, who's a very, very big YouTuber, an actual barrister who gives legal, a legal commentary on various things, and see whether they can offer any guidance. Obviously, they've got a huge audience, and this may be something that if they were to make content on, it would not only help the model railway from the point of view of getting very, very good legal advice, but also raising the profile as well.
And
he
potentially would be able to do a video highlighting the issue and make some comments on it, but he wouldn't be able to offer actual legal advice.
Right.
That's the only thing.
I think certainly looking
unless he's paid.
Well, but at the end of the day, if you don't ask, you don't get.
I think pro bonum is what was discussed. Some barristers will work on that on a pro bonum basis, I think it's called, which is basically on what called like in grace or whatever the words I'm trying to think of for it. But again, they are few and far between. I know from personal experience, trying to get one was very difficult. So, yeah. I probably less said that.
No worries. Well, look, we'll direct people. Les Cliff says that on his Not Lobia page, Facebook page, there's a lot of information there. People want to learn more, they can go there. There's also your video as well. I'm sure, if they're not already done so, I'm sure the moderators will be able to share the link to that in the chat. And it's just a case of not just getting the word out there, but, get down there. People, get down there on the days it's open, on the Friday. What times are we looking at on a Friday? To actually
10 till 3.
10 till 3. So it's a great opportunity. Get down there. And as you said, Steve, as well, tell everybody there the reason you are there is the model railway. And I don't mean just to the people at the model railway. If you go in the cafe, you tell them we're only here because of the model railway. If you go in the charity shops, we're only here because of the model railway. And the more people that do that, the more word will trickle back and say, actually, we're getting a lot more footfall. And every single person is saying they're here because of this amazing asset that's being underutilized. So, look.
I do say in my video as well that if you aren't able to get there because it's during the week, put that in your email to the trustees to say you would very much like to visit, but unfortunately your opening hours preclude that. Please open at weekends.
Yes.
Because for some reason they're very anti-opening at weekends. It makes no sense.
Is this the trust or is this the volunteers that run the model railway?
No, the volunteers on site, so the volunteers in the cafe are more than happy to open at the weekends. The trustees are unwilling to open at the weekends because one of them would have to work one of the days.
Right.
So basically, it's kind of like, well, if you're going to pull in enough people to do it, you can employ someone. So you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And then it funds itself.
And that's it. I was like, we can't make any money because I'd have to come into work to make money. It seems a really weird standpoint. And again, these are all
there's
things...
so much I could say about it, and I could rant on it for ages.
But these are all things to actually, in any kind of, if a legal route were to be sought in the end, to actually say, look, they're being unreasonable. And I think, the test of unreasonableness, it's things like this. It's always worth making a note of that so that they can be brought up at a later date and say, we were willing to do this and you just said no. We were willing to do this and you said no. And actually, that can be a very powerful tool if it has to go to some kind of legal arbitration as well. Yeah. But look, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute honour. I know we've talked at shows before, but it's the first time you've come on the show. And it's really great to have you on. And like we said at the start, really great the things you're doing on your YouTube channel. Not just with the David Clarke Railway, but filming at exhibitions. And I wanted to ask you, have you come up against any issues when filming at exhibitions? I've seen a lot of posts recently about people saying about snootiness, like, oh no, you can't film my layout. Or in one instance, somebody was saying about there was a tripod with a sign saying, dear YouTubers, this is called a tripod sort of thing. And have you faced any of that yourself, or is it not something you've seen?
Unfortunately, yeah. Very recently, Scale Forum, High Wycombe show, one show I have been looking forward to all year, actually, because I couldn't make it last year. And I'm very much into fine scale modelling, so I do 2 mil fine scale modelling as well as some of the other stuff I do. It's my kind of thing. I like the realism sort of things and prototypical side of things. And I've nothing against those who do Rule 1, but for me, that's my thing.
Yeah.
And I was very much looking forward to going to it. And there was one layout there in particular, which I'm not going to name because it wasn't the owner's fault. But it was one that I was very much looking forward to seeing. The photos I've seen were brilliant. And I approached that, and the guy behind the layout got very anti with me and quite rude and abrupt because I had approached and wanted to film his video and hadn't asked his permission to film his layout. And because I was going to be making money from it and start going this round, I was like, I'll tell you what, mate, I'm going to move on. And I just left it and went and did the other stuff. Bothered the hell out of me. Really, really angered me. But I just carried on about it. But I was like, my God, these people actually exist.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, most people are actually very, very reasonable. But there seems to be a few people who really do have a stick up their bottom about stuff like this.
It wasn't even his layout. This is the thing. The actual owner, when he actually spoke to me afterwards offline, and we corresponded a bit, because he'd seen the video on it and didn't understand why his layout wasn't featured.
So
I was like, well, actually, no, this is what happened.
Yes, because the arsehole that was behind it stopped me. So I think he
was quite horrified about it, to be honest. But I have such a brilliant relationship with so many different layout operators. I see them all the time when I go around and stuff, and they're really appreciative of the videos that I do. And I've just done it. I was invited there by Beijao specifically to film a video on his because they can't set it up anywhere apart from at exhibitions.
Yeah, that's the Chinese layout.
Yeah,
which is
doing stuff specifically for them. And that's the only time I've ever got into a show for free.
Yeah. Because
I was effectively working, if you call it that. I was there specifically to do something with that layout. I've never turned. I've had shows offer me to say, "Oh yeah, we'll give you free entry for turn up." It's like, no, I always pay my way. I always pay my entry fee. I always buy a program if they're selling a program, because that's my way of supporting the show. And then anything else comes off that kind of just makes it a little bit easy to recoup some of the costs from doing it. But I never make money from it. And that ties into the whole thing I saw, what about Iron Horse's video and all this stuff. There's a lot of hate against YouTubers at the moment. I don't understand why. I don't understand what we've done to people recently or something, but a lot of people seem to be very upset about it.
I think part of the issue is that there's this idea that people who don't do this think that we all go to bed sleeping on an enormous pile of money that we've earned for this. And actually, as you well know yourself, it's not like that. The money that you earn for the amount of time you have to put in is very much a labour of love. You're earning pennies per hour on what you do, if you're lucky. And actually, it costs money. I was talking to Charlie at Chadwick Model Railway, and he said he bought a new camera to be able to better film his videos that cost him thousands of pounds. That's what you have to spend to be able to do this. And this idea that anybody got rich quick out of making model railway videos is really quite strange. Yeah.
All of my kit is second-hand. I've got a second-hand budget camera, Sony AX53, which is kind of jack of all trades, master of none. I have a £15 plastic holder, which the camera attaches to because I'm diabetic and my blood sugars get low, my hands shake, so it helps keep it stable. And it also means I can just stick an external mic on the top of it, which is directional. So it cuts out some of the extra conversation around me. And if it's DCC sound, it picks it up better.
Yeah.
I was refused entry to Ali Pali by the security because I was deemed to be a professional with a professional camera. Which was bizarre. And that was because of a stupid rule they have in about not allowing people in with cameras because they have music concerts in there. Even though it was a model railway exhibition and nothing to do with music concert.
Did you bring that up with the organisers? Because I know from having spoken...
The organiser specifically had to be brought down and give me approval to get in, and then had to give the same approval to every other person individually who had a security camera until Sense was seen about 3 hours into the show when they let everybody in with a video camera.
When presumably the organiser went, hey, we're paying for this, you tow our line or hop it. But, James Pett says that's very serious abuse. I'm assuming he's talking about that. The security guys.
Jobs worth.
Yeah, that is pretty much
it. not
so
experienced with, unfortunately.
you give somebody a blue uniform and a clipboard, and they let it go to their heads. But
for that side of things, I paid for advance tickets to get in the half-hour early point, because I knew how many layouts were there and to get around them. I was delayed 45 minutes going in whilst this was resolved. I didn't get in till 10:15. There's 45 minutes I could have spent filming layouts.
I just said to them, I need a refund for the advance portion of my ticket, because clearly these people have squandered it. But I think part of the issue has been that there does feel like there's been a rise of, particularly, not always, but particularly new channels trying to go down the enhanced monetization route. And I think part of the backlash is it's become slowly more and more in people's faces. So, for example, YouTube has ramped up the number of ads, and that has incurred a lot of people's ire. But actually, the content creators have no say in that. And one of the things that Zoe here put out a video on our second channel about is that if you if you be a very pious and go, oh no, I will put out my content for free, and turn that off, YouTube doesn't actually show your video to many people. So
and why would they?
Exactly, because it costs money from their point of view. They're paying for a huge, great big server farm that's making all this happen. So, it's got to be paid for somehow. But I think it's because there's been a rise of very in-your-face, like, we'll show you a little bit, but if you want more, you have to buy premium membership to the channel.
Yeah.
And I think that has come with not actually having the content to back it up. So it's sort of like, there will be content, but we want the money up front, sort of thing. And I think that there's been a backlash against that. And as well as sensationalizing of the hobby, unfortunately, it's the scourge of social media that I've seen, not just with model railways, it happens all over, where people make out that there's a massive problem and like, oh, only I can save this sort of thing. Watch my video and I show you how. And it's videos like that which try and make hay. We saw it when Hatton's closed down. And actually, I knew Richard Davies very, very well from Hatton's. So I knew the real story. And you see all of these people trying to make hay. And actually, just being told the tabloidization, that's one hell of a word if you're playing Scrabble. On that note in particular, media.
I spoke to Phil Parker about it, Ali Pally, because I approached them. It was like, right, okay, you're the sponsor of this. You are the big brand heading this up. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
He was actually all right in the end. So I was like, I'm happy to talk about it. But they go like this. They think we're kind of going in and we're going to be making lots of money from doing this, and it's like,
and it doesn't happen.
No.
I mean, I
might make 20 quid off this video. It's cost me that to get in. Never mind the train fare to get in there or the fuel fare for getting in, plus the food and stuff when I'm there.
I think this...
It's a really poor business model if you think I'm doing this to make money.
Yeah, it's like there's better ways to make money. I mean, like my day job, for example, that's what pays the bills. This doesn't. But I know I had one of the reasons, that I no longer post on our web is because I had a run-in with the same person, because apparently I was posting commercial content and that wasn't allowed. So you just delete my posts. And it's like, seriously, you really think that I make like mega bucks here? And I think the problem is that it's almost like old media and new media feel pitted against each other. So the traditional print magazines, I think there's some people who work at these who feel that YouTube is usurping them. And I think maybe that has brought in a lot of tension. But actually, it's not the case. If you wanted to get rich quick, there's a lot better ways of doing it. And nobody ever got rich with model railways. They always say, how do you make a fortune in model railways? You start with an even bigger fortune and work back from there. It's you don't get rich doing this. The genuine people on YouTube and other social media platforms doing any hobby, but model railways in particular, they do it because they love the subject. You wouldn't do this. You wouldn't make this if you had no interest in model railways. And I think that there's a clear divide between those people who do it for the love of the hobby because they're passionate about it, and those people who maybe they've bought that BS and thought, hey, this is a get-rich-quick scheme. All these YouTubers are making money hand over fist. And I'm sure they get very disappointed very quickly when it doesn't work like that. But look, anyway, thank you so much for coming on. We've been chatting away for quite some time now. But I'm going to let you get on. But look, it's been really great having you on. We shared some links in the chat. And as we said before, check out, everybody, the SHGP Media video on the David Clarke Railway, and Friends of Not Lobia Facebook page as well, run by Les Cliff, one of the long-standing volunteers at the railway that has further information as well. And of course, a huge shout out to Les Cliff. He does it because he's passionate about the hobby. He doesn't do it for recognition or fame or anything. He does it because he is so passionate about the hobby. So hopefully...
But on that note, to Les is solely responsible for a lot of the movement which is going on now. Not necessarily he's instigated and say, oh yeah, you're going to be doing this. But unless it had been him, say, letting me know about it, me going up and meeting him, doing the video, and then everything which is then spiral from that, and the extra forum stuff I'm involved with, and the contacts that I'm involved with, all started through Les. So I know Les took a little bit of flack for some of the stuff what he done. That is completely unwarranted. He has been instrumental in the movement which is going behind to this railway. So that's one thing. I want to give a big public shout out to Les because he's been brilliant.
Absolutely. I mean, I've worked with Les for a great many years. We've done TV programs together. In fact, I actually met him on the set of a TV program about model railways. And he is so passionate. I always call him the Bob Ross of model railways. It's magic to watch him work. And I know that there's a lot been going on in the background that Les has been instrumental in. He's talked with me from when this all broke, but also with some of the TV contacts as well. He's been putting feelers out. So Les has done an amazing job. I know quite often people may not realise just how influential and passionate Les is for the hobby in the background, because he doesn't do it for the fame. He does it because he genuinely believes it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. It all starts with that one person who's willing to do something and not just accept things and not lie down and take it. And Les was one of those people.
Absolutely. So I'm going to let you get on and enjoy your evening. Thank you so much for taking the time out to enjoy us.
Thanks for having me on. We all appreciate it.
No worries.
Not enjoy us.
Yeah, sorry, I've got a speech impediment, and sometimes my mouth just goes, I can give you this word. Yes, for joining us is what I was trying to say. Don't make fun of my disability. But look, thank you for joining us. It's been great having your company.
Okay, guys.
And
I'll see you later.
We'll catch you at a show later. So, right, it's Steve from SHGP Media. A huge thanks to have him joining us on the Monday Club. So there you have it. Write in, but more importantly, speech impediment. It happens when I'm tired. More importantly, get yourself down there if you can on the Friday, 10 till 3. And tell people there. That's why you're there. I'm here because of the railway. Not here because of your charity shop. I'm here because of the railway. If you go to the cafe, I'm here because of the railway. Stopped here for a bite to eat, but I'm here because of the railway. That's the way to do it. And hopefully watch this space. And Les Cliff, the Bob Ross of model railways, the unsung heroes. I know he's got a lot of flack from people who don't actually understand who the real movers and shakers are behind the hobby, the people who do it because they're passionate and genuinely interested. But we always a huge shout out to Les. And Les, if you're still watching, we need to get you up here as a guest. You can come and see.
So long.
It is. Come and see the progress on Weir Yard.
Les was your first co-host on the show. Way back when?
Second. He was the second co-host.
Was he?
Yeah, but he
sort of first.
It was that Brian person.
I thought Brian was second.
I don't know. Then maybe both about. I don't know. Both about the same time. Took it in turns.
Oh, hey!
What? Okay, what?
No, just having a joke at you. There's nothing I can
Hey,
say.
what's that parcel to go? Hey, hold on. You've had you've been buying stuff.
I've been buying bits.
Maura
things.
King says, great interview. Thank you so much. Les Cliff says, yes, it's been a long time since I've been. Yes, we need the Bob Ross of model railways on. Les, there's always an open invite for you. Come on here and take a look. You can see there the tree in the foreground with the tractor parked at the bottom. That's actually Les's work. Les made that tree from scratch. And you'll also see in the background where the rock climbers are. I don't know whether you can see the rock climbers on your screen. That, in absolute thanks to Les's contribution to the hobby, that is now being named Les's Cliff. Did you get it? Les? But yeah. So there we are. Yeah, no. Thank you, Les. You taught me so much about model railway scenery. I learned so much from you. I bow before the master. SHGP Media says face does appear on the channel, not often though.
I know. I had to go really far back to find his face.
Yeah. There's a lot of people like that. You know, at the end of the day, some people don't like appearing on camera. Other people are complete camera whores. And then there's people like me, who's got the perfect face for radio, but goes on telly anyway. Right.
I'll be back in a moment.
James Pett says, Trombone of Doom. And I'm sure that there were a few latecomers who turned up whilst... Oh, yeah, the Tumble of Clowns, for example. A lot of latecomers who turned up whilst that interview was on, thinking that they were getting under the radar.
Hobbits.
Yeah,
Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Now go and have that wee. I can see you dancing around. Right. Raymond Legs, you behave yourself there. That was not a rusty trombone. It was well waxed with trombone wax. No, I'm not having a vuvuzela. That was one World Cup that was ruined for everybody.
We don't need a vuvuzela. We'll just unleash a swarm of bees.
Yeah, a swarm of angry bees ruining the audio from everything. Warbler Production says, I'll be on 2 different TV programmes next year on about model railways and one sitcom. What's the model railway one? I'm curious. Because I'm not on it. Now, I've been in a lot of BBC and ITV stuff. The layout is being attacked by a purple giant. Yeah, Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase says you can see Zoe climbing down the ladder. Oh, yes, you can. Of course, you come into shot. So, anyway, you'll have been following... no, it's not a knitted... Oh, yeah, Zoe is knitted. It's a cardigan, her big flappy cardigan of doom. SHGP Media says, I've told my family they can come home now. Iron Horse Railway says, oh, it seems my trombone is due for a severe waxing. And not just a waxing, a severe waxing. So, yeah, anyway, progress on the Weir Yard rebuild. Well, you should be watching the episodes. Parts 1 through to 4 are up. So I'm not really showing anything anymore on this that you won't have already seen, apart from where the Les's tree. Yeah, Iron Horse Railways. Severe! Ooh. I hope they used some lube with that wax. It was quite severe. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. Right, so like stop that. Too much of a good thing. So oh wait a minute, there's a spoiler on that one as well. So I'm gonna turn that around and go the other way. Where's the... There we go. Right, I had to lean over. The mouse is over there. She's left the mouse out of the way. Andy Fry's Junction says Hornby 00 gauge announcement Thursday 10 AM on YouTube. Yes. And definitely there's some interesting models getting announced. Not going to tell you what they are, obviously. But some really interesting models. I think you need to be there to see Hornby's announcements. There's something for everybody, and there's definitely some firm favourites coming through. So that's all I will say. James Pett says, I look forward to your water pour. I think I have done the water pour. I'm looking at it now. All the waterfall is done. I have filmed it, but that video has not yet gone out. I'm not sure at what point it'll go out, because I left the mountain and then I built the bit in between and the bridge, and then I went back to do the water. So I don't know whether Zoe might actually like bump the water one up, because it kind of naturally fits in after the last video that we put out. So I don't know. I can hear that Zoe's talking, not the words she's saying. James Pets approves of something for everybody. Ooh. OO Gauge Journey Official says, are Hornby announcing that they have managed to get lights at both ends of their 125 train set? Hashtag meow. Saucer of Milk to table 3. Ben Tullett says, Hornby were at the Great British Model Railway Show and were inundated with many recommendations for models in all formats. Oh, who's mithering me? The Mither Monkey. Yeah, apparently she can do the videos in any order that she wants. So, yeah, I think the water one, maybe we should do the water one next. Raymond Legs says there's also a layout based on Cherbourg Harbour during World War II, which has real water and floating British and US Navy ships. It's always very, very dangerous, in more ways than one, to use water, real water, on a model railway. Now, if you're outdoors, that's probably absolutely fine and the best way to go. But indoors, I tell you now, water will just get everywhere. You need to not only seal everything, but water doesn't scale. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you make like your trains smaller and turn them into models, the water in your water feature isn't getting smaller. So the water molecules are the same size and they don't act the same. So it doesn't look like how water would look at that size. And I'll be honest with you, there's just no redeeming features about using real water on an indoor model. It's also the case, how are you going to keep it clean? Now, you've got to think about how you stop mold, how you stop also like algae, all sorts of nasty smells, all that kind of thing. There's so many things that can go wrong with real water. Game Hammer Classic Gaming says, how do you keep water clean? Well, you wash it. You get some other water and then you wash it. And then you bin the lot and you put some clean water in. OO Gauge Journey Official says, oh, I've just noticed, is that the Acura Scale Class 31 Regional Railways? No, funnily enough, that is a Hornby Class 31. It's quite, is it North Yorkshire Moors Railway? And that's from more than 10 years ago. That's quite an old model now. And it's the Hornby super detailed tooling. Used to have working fans. They don't last very long with lots of use. They go very squeaky squealy, so I disconnected the rubber band. But actually, I find it a great model. It is sound fitted. It's got a Zemo sound chip in that, funnily enough. And it's a really good performer. All-wheel drive, all-wheel pickup. Ham Shackleton says, I have a photo on my computer somewhere of a tin of dehydrated water. It's not just a tin of air. Somebody did, so water adds a lot of moisture. Yes, and you can't just add, somebody said add salt to keep your water fresh. It only works to a point. Zantex says, were the early 31s known for mazzard rot? Yeah, I think the first batch. There's certainly a batch where my recollection is there's a BR green one, There's BR Blue with tops, and it's something like either Dutch or departmental. And all 3 models are basically guaranteed a Mazet rot issue. There's just an incredibly bad batch. But not all Hornby 31s are afflicted. And to be honest now, it's been long enough that the reports of Mazet rot on Hornby 31s are such that when you buy a 31 second-hand, take a very good close look, particularly at the chassis. If there's no signs of Mazet rot, chances are it's never going to rot. Yeah, Raymond Lake says the dreaded zinc pest killed many Hornby and Lima Nova and Paya models. Yeah, going right back to the days of Bing and Trix and Hornby 00. Pre-Second World War, a lot of the dinky toys as well suffered hugely with Mazet rot. And it was after the war, using experience gleaned through wartime production, that actually the causes of the zinc pest were understood in terms of the lead impurities. And it was really down to proper quality control that stops it. And unfortunately, when production shipped out to China, then a lot of these lessons were then learnt all over again. Yeah, Raymond Lake says some old Märklin models have crumbled to dust. Zandak says, for those who are not aware of it, what are the signs of Mazet rot? The easiest way to start seeing it is on a chassis block. So I talk about a chassis block, but there's certain models, like I think there's a Merchant Navy class that Hornby did, where just the front bogey, rest of the loco fine, just front bogey goes, and it looks crazed. You see through the black paint, it like starts to crack up, and it's a bit like when you paint acrylic over enamel, and the paint sort of goes weird, and it starts to look like that. You can get a crumbly white dust when it gets very advanced, but essentially cracks appear in the metal. But then the metal appears to grow, and what it is that there are salts, and salt is not just your sodium chloride. Salt is a chemical term. So metals will react and form a crystalline structure as they pinch molecules from each other. And you end up, the crystalline structure of the zinc pest, I think it's something like lead sulfate, it occupies more physical space than the original materials did, the same way that rust does. So it forces the casting apart, and in the same way, it's why reinforced concrete will sometimes spall, and you'll see huge flakes of concrete will fall off, and then you see the rusty rebar, and the reason for that is because rust occupies something like 40 times the space that the original iron did, and it has to go somewhere, and the forces that it creates will just shred metal castings. Yeah, Flymo Chenwood, it's the lead in the zinc, and Hornby 00, if you read the Hornby 00 Companion by Michael Foster, in there it talks a little bit about this. And it said that what Meccano, the parent company, found was it was most likely introduced into the casting when the zinc ingots came to the factory. They came in Hessian sacks, and the sacks were bound by like a metallic wire that was sort of wound round, twisted up. And that wire contained, amongst other things, lead. And what would happen was, when they were tipping all the stuff into the melting pot, they were just chucking any old bits of metal in. So like piece of twisted wire, in the pot it goes. And it doesn't take much lead impurity to actually ruin the casting. And there's nothing you can do. Once the mix is made, there's, you see sometimes people go, oh, well, if you pickle it in vinegar, or you paint it in this, or you do this, or you do that, nothing will stop it. It's a chemical reaction, and it will happen whether you like it or not. Yeah, Raymond Legg says tin whiskers can also short out electronics that brought down an Apollo space mission. Oh, was that what happened with Apollo 13? Yeah, I could well believe that. And an airliner. Yeah, it's one of the reasons that you are not allowed under any circumstances to take a particular metal called gallium on aircraft. And the reason for this is that gallium has an affinity for aluminium and aluminium alloys. And what actually happens is it just like it's like you get a little blob of gallium which is liquid at room temperature, a bit like mercury, and if it finds a flaw in the aluminium to get through the protective oxide, it's like the little bead of metal sucks down into it, just disappears, but then it compromises the entire aluminium, and that compromise
you can basically crush it with your hand.
It becomes like dust.
Yeah, that's how they do some of these special effects on very old films.
Oh, interesting. Samantha's Train says the lead in the air in a lot of places probably doesn't or didn't help. Good old days of brain damage for all. I'm not sure that there was enough lead in atmospheric pollution, but certainly, in terms of...
I'm going to disagree there. I remember in the 80s there was a report that there was sufficient lead in the air to cause problems with children's hearts.
Well, I know that they used to add lead tetrachloride or lead tetroxide to petrol.
To stop knocking.
Yeah, and we're getting a chemistry lesson here, aren't we? And
it's probably not a good chemistry lesson because I'm a physicist and she's a philosopher.
Yeah, I did do A-level chemistry. Samantha's Trains appears to be a late arrival. There we go.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Yeah, Samantha's Train says tetraethyl lead, so it's lead tetraethyl. Which in my mind I can see the formula. I did do chemistry. I know what the actual makeup of that molecule would be, but what it actually did was it stopped the exhaust valves from getting burnt, because it caused a white light deposit on the valve, which stopped the metal that the valve was made of from being burnt away. And if it burnt away, it wouldn't seal properly, destroys compression, and your engine wouldn't run properly. So when people talk about leaded petrol, that's what was in it, and it was that coming out of the exhaust which was causing a lot of issues, which is why they banned leaded petrol. Right on Track says, are you at more events this year, Jenny? Yes, we are.
You're at the NEC.
I'm at the I Can't Believe It's Not Wally event at the NEC because, like some other YouTubers, I got an invite to be on the YouTuber panel. I know this caused a lot of uproar as well, and
not as much to you, because one of the ones that was going around the most didn't mention that you were there. Mentioned everyone else, but not you.
Yeah.
So you didn't get a lot of the backlash.
Yeah, although you look at the lineup, it's like, it's at the end of the day, I will advertise my presence closer to the event. I don't need that kind of validation to feel happy. But no,
I'm happy to be invited.
Oh yeah, I mean, who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
I don't think Laurie Rose from Laurie's Mechanical Marvels has advertised.
I was shocked that he wasn't going, and then I heard that he was. So he's been playing it close to his chest.
It's because a number of people, myself included, made suggestions as to who they could invite. I believe that, and Charlie is probably lurking, but I believe Charlie was invited, but turned it down. So people go, oh, why is Charlie not there?
Why is the king not there?
Yeah, why is the king not there? And it's like, because I don't want to.
He has his royal duties to attend to.
Yes, he's polishing his awards. And probably mainlining Werther's originals.
Oh, he's going to have a word with you.
He always has some words with me. So Ben Tullett says, has Tom been advised about Laurie? Yes, and they made sure they're on different days. So unfortunately, that bromance will have to happen
off screen.
In the double room that they've both been put up at.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That bromance is getting good. Right.
Jen, what's in the news?
The news, I'm on one of the YouTuber panel event. I don't know. Hornbeat announcements coming up on Thursday at 10 a.m. And
they've got a YouTube.
They have a YouTube video. So I actually do know what's being announced, but I'm not going to tell you for obvious reasons. If I told you, I would be ostracised from the entire model railway community.
So it's true that they're going to launch 1,000 Gronks via trumpet into the National Gallery. I was trying to work out something funny as I was saying it. It didn't work out.
Yeah, OO Gauge Journey Official says always trouble in Train Town. Yeah, according to some YouTubers there is. The rest of us are just enjoying the hobby.
Yes.
Yeah, Roger Windsor says, my classic bikes need leaded petrol to run, so I add a lead-based mix to the petrol. Yeah, you can actually buy lead tetraethyl to add to regular petrol to make leaded petrol for classic cars, but it's very expensive way. It's easier actually. You can buy strengthened valves and actually get the valves redone on a classic engine to make it so it can run safely on unleaded fuel. Essentially all it means is that you have new valves fitted, which in itself is a head-off job. It's quite a big job, but not impossible. What's this? Accurascale has delivered new batch of the 00 gauge biohack snow. Yeah, they yeah, definitely. Well, what are we actually looking at?
This is all the news that I've been sent, and that's it. Is it just slow news? Is everyone just holding off on announcing things until Wally?
Yeah. And yeah, OO Gauge Journey Official. Exactly, Jenny. Hashtag positivity. Yeah, that's it. It's what I was saying during the interview. There's certain people, certain YouTubers, it's always, oh, doom, gloom, drama. Watch my video and buy membership. Doom, gloom, drama. You won't want to miss. Doom, gloom, drama. I'll just sit here and talk to you about an imagined problem on my beanbag. And that, yeah, there's
other forms of seating are available.
Yes, yes, but none that would show you the dangerously short skirt I'm wearing. Right, SHGP Media says, I remember the point I was going to make about the BRM guy. He said about Ali Pali, I'd make money of dramatising the incident. I would have made an official complaint about that, to be honest.
Absolutely.
It's like, no, we don't want these idiots in our hobby, be they public, be they YouTubers, be they people at magazines. We should call out that kind of attitude.
This is what I
wherever
said,
we find it.
And this is what I said on a comment on Iron Horse's video that came out today. That all the big YouTubers do talk to each other at these events.
Yeah, we do.
We say, has X, Y, and Z been saying bad things to you? Oh, do you mean Gobby John, who's been telling tales again?
I can tell you now that all of the big YouTubers know about the snooty way in which all my posts were suddenly just removed from RM Web.
Yeah,
they all know about it because I told them. So yeah. Iron Horse Railway says, and the smaller YouTubers do too. Yes,
yeah.
They've got a room in the bag of in the back of the Dog and Bucket.
No,
they meet every
small
week.
YouTubers. They live in the bag.
In the bag.
In the bag.
They're in the bean bag.
And the big ones sit on it.
Yes, yes.
Work the buttocks. You'll get out soon. But
yeah.
James, you're absolutely right. Very serious abuse.
Yeah, James Pets, it is, because it's like, I know there was other things, other reasons, and that reason is now no longer at that company for reasons. But yeah, so there we go.
But it's like I was saying on the comments.
Richard Knoll says RM Web, the mum's net of model railways.
It really is. Oh my goodness.
The thing is, it's like there's not really. They're the only real online forum for model railways. So the problem always is, and you get that with a lot of these big sites that grow and grow and grow, that actually it's a small number of very vocal idiots who damage the reputation. So it doesn't take many people to cause a lot of bother.
No, it
but actually, you know, when you look that they've got something like I'm gonna pluck a figure out the air, but I know they do have a lot of users. Like let's say 20,000 unique accounts on there, and there's like a dozen that cause a nuisance, but they're the dozen that everybody sees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like I was saying on Craig's channel on the comment. We all know who they are. We all talk to each other and pass the names around and go, has he been on yours? And yes, he's been on mine. Has he been on yours? Yes, he's been on mine. We're going to call you out, and we've got a bigger voice than you have.
Yeah, SHGP Media says, I don't really post to RMWeb due to the anti-YouTube attitude I get from it. Yeah, but the thing is, they're all old farts, so we'll outlast them.
Well, you hope so.
Yeah,
right. Jen,
I live longer than you.
It's 25 to 9.
Oh yes,
the night has flown by.
It has rather, yes.
Would you like to do a few videos?
Yes. Okay. Well, hold on. I need to change the angle of the dangle.
For the brew, that is true.
Yeah. So, do we have many videos?
We have some.
Did you curate the videos?
I've curated some.
Right. So you've already been through and pre-approved.
Yes. So we've got a lovely one here.
Oh, sorry. I like that. I love this. I love this. Right. Richard Gruter says, I tried to use my Monday Club badge to scrape my car windscreen, but only got about 10% off.
That was good. That was good. So we've got We've got a nice video here from Joachim JP Anderson. So
Simon Trains Model Railway says, on my other channel I posted a video from Bewley Park Station which opened yesterday. You didn't see after that I was at lunch with at least 5 other YouTubers chatting. No names will be mentioned. Yeah, and that's it. YouTubers do talk to each other.
Yeah.
We have opinions on other YouTubers and we share it with other YouTubers.
As you would expect. I mean, that's basically inside baseball, as the saying goes.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're a YouTuber and you go, well, I don't talk with anybody, it's like you're the one we're all talking about.
Oh, that's terrible. But no, for the most part, people are fine. Yeah, they'll talk because people talk.
Yeah.
But we all reasonably get along.
Right.
1 or 2 don't, but for the most part, we do.
Yeah.
Do you want to bring up the button? Because this is Oxham Station in Jutland, 1957.
So, is this their Rail 200 diorama?
I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that it's very, very good.
I like the ballasting. I've got coming up a ballasting made easy. I show you how video is part of the rebuild, and I think that ballasting is something that a lot of people seem very scared of.
They see it as some kind of dark art.
Yeah. But actually, ballasting doesn't have to be hard.
And so, you don't need a huge amount of it either. Look at the way he's done this.
Yeah, interesting patches on the road showing like where the road's been dug up and then filled back in. What are they like meddling monks or something? They look like what are those things for? Oh, it's just we're looking at it on a small monitor. I like your statue in the middle of the yard area.
Is that Victoria?
Victoria?
Because I recognise that statue, the one in Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester.
Richard Gruter's ballasting doesn't have to be hard, and that's why actually maybe this week or next week. The ballasting bit, there's a video I've done just on like ballasting. Put that out as a Wednesday one.
Okay.
And it's
so do you want that this week, or do you want the one that you filmed for Wednesday this week?
the one that I filmed for Wednesday this week, because we did 2 on the rebuild last week. But then next week, the Wednesday video, make it the ballasting one. Okay. And then this Friday...
Oh, this should be hard. It's rock.
Oh, B165 says, sorry I'm late. I just got in from firing a Flying Scotsman. What have I missed? Oh, wow.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks,
on the
Gandalf.
Flying Scotsman.
Yes, I'll be honest with you. I think you were having a better time than we were. So
that is lovely. Thank you so much for sending that in, man.
Yeah. So that's great. So I'm gonna. Oh, you've changed the button. So thank you so much for that. Danish layout, I think. Somebody said Swiss, but I think it is Danish.
Jutland. So
Jutland. Yeah. Is that Denmark?
Denmark.
Okay.
That was really nice.
Richard
I love
Brutus...
seeing stuff from different areas.
Oh, absolutely. Richard Brutus says, I have sausage fingers. Sausage
fingers.
DSB is Danish State Railway.
Yes.
Yeah. Indeed. Denmark, says J. Paul Anderson.
Ooh.
Oopster says, was the Flying Scotsman given a final warning before you fired it? Oh, hold on. Gandalf, we need the trombonist.
Why are you hitting me? The trombonist is over there.
Okay. Simon Pitcher, thank you so much. He's very
so
kindly
much. Thank
donated
you.
$9.99 for the Cake Fund. Great show tonight. Thank you so much. So there we go. A cheer for that. Thank you so much for your generosity. So Zoe, it's clear. You have to go out for cake now.
Trombone first.
Okay. RG Models 86 says, try using Deluxe Materials Ballast Magic Powder Glue. You mix it with the ballast and then spread it over the points and spray with water to flash the glue and bind the stones together.
That's an interesting idea.
I've tried using that, and actually there is a better product in my opinion. And it's a Deluxe Materials product. And it's the Ballast Bond Liquid Adhesive, coupled with War World Scenics fine ballast. J. Paul Anderson says, statues of German war dead, World War I, southern tip of Jutland, Schleswig was German until 1920.
Right. And it's pronounced Jutland.
Of course it would be, yes, because J's are pronounced as a Y in German.
Yes, why?
Because it is.
The name's Bond.
Ballast Bond.
So next video we've got is a lovely one from Richard Swiderski, who says, hope we're both well. We've got a video of the newly restored Duke of Gloucester on a special run to Carlisle.
Ooh.
So this should be lovely.
Indeedy. Right, so make it happen.
Beep beep, here we go.
No, is it like beep beep?
Beep beep.
Beep beep. They don't go beep beep.
They go beep beep if I want them to go beep beep. I am going to
Gandalf! Stop her from saying beep beep.
I'm going to get a sound chip and program it so that when you press the horn, the train just says beep beep. It doesn't actually make a beep, it just says beep beep.
Is that like having a dog that just goes woof?
Yes. That looks almost real. It does. It's amazing.
Stop it.
Stop
it.
Oh, my brain hurts.
No, I wasn't hitting you on your brain. I was hitting you on your head. You keep your brain in a jar.
A jar by the bed.
Yeah, you don't want to wear the batteries out.
James Pett says beep beep should be a t-shirt.
Yes, it should be. Gosh, you were bold.
That was very close.
Oh, that was. I bet that gave you a start. But luckily, it didn't pass 30 seconds to a minute later. Otherwise, you'd have been having a wasted journey.
This looks...
You wonder how many people that happens to. They go,
know.
oh no, I missed it.
Well, remember... what's his name?
Bob?
No.
Dave?
The guy who does those amazing documentary things about trains that we said could have easily been on BBC.
Oh, Chris Eden Green.
Chris Eden Green, that was
yes,
it. One of his early student videos was about that problem, trying to get the ultimate picture.
Yeah.
I thought that was a brilliant film. Oh, it does look good. You can tell they've restored it with love there.
With love?
Nice and shiny.
Alright, most people just use wax. The same wax that your trumpeter is using.
Trumpet wax. Beep, beep.
He's
Look at it. Oh, I was about to say you could see it there. Yeah.
That has been absolutely dome
fantastic.
waxed. That like how long will it stay that clean? Oh, even the wheels. That does look good.
The way it's going. Oh, I do like it.
And and even the coaches are squeaky clean as well. But if you had that running on your model railway, there'd be some rivet counter going, "Oh, that looks too clean.
It's too shiny.
It's just out of the box fast."
Yes, that's because I keep all of my trains nice and shiny because I like them, and I know the value of soap. I'm being a little bitch tonight, aren't I?
Yes, you are. How's that different from normal? So,
Thank you so much for sending that in, Richard. That was brilliant.
Game Hammer Classic Gaming is on straight after the show. You'll get a prompt to move on.
Thank you so much for sending that over.
James Pett. Well, we are looking at doing the. Well, she's supposed to be doing the designs for it, so we can order the next Monday Club badge and a Gronk It Up pin badge.
Yes.
And we're also thinking about so that when people come on as guests, we will give people a different coloured pin badge. What do you think of that? So we were thinking of ordering a special colour that would be just for people who've been guests on the show.
I think it's a terrible idea, and also that you will create
an underground market in light sky blue Monday Club badges.
You'll find people going around repainting their old badges so that they look like the new one. You'll have an underground market in forged badges.
No, you'll have people begging you, like, just one badge, I'm good for it. Good night to you, Roger Windsor. It's been great having your company, and do take care. We need to, apparently, Overgage Journey official says, need to market a pin badge collector's case. Now that might be a good idea.
Oh, a nice bit of wood, yes, a good wood. Steam engines don't make beep beep, and because steam engines are not having horns. If I want my steam engine to say beep beep, I will install a set of speakers and make it say beep beep.
Yeah.
You can't stop me.
Yeah.
My mate David had his ID stolen, so I call him Dave now.
Dave. Or could just call him Rodney. Alright, Dave. That trombone sounds like it needs
a little bit about
it needs a severe waxing. Not just a waxing, but a severe waxing.
Yes, I'll come along and wax it like.
You come along and do any kind of wax application.
Me come along and do some.
Shit.
I can do hard work. I choose not to. No, that was true.
Hashtag extreme waxing.
Extreme wax. So we've got an interesting one here from Anthony Nill.
Anthony, who's apparently on holiday in Portugal at the moment. So I've heard. Having a good time.
I think you might find this one fun though. It's matey shunting at locomotion in Shildon.
Yeah, going to the dogs. Wax on, wax off.
If you want to wax off, you go somewhere else.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you press the button, my dear, we can see matey, the Gronk, doing a bit of gronking.
Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes. We haven't seen New Junction in. Is he lurking? Hello, Caroline Rogers. Says night all, great stream as usual. See you all next week.
Thank you for coming along. Have a great night.
Absolutely.
So we're supposed to stop waxing our trombones on the live stream, but I didn't want to. I like a good.
Oh,
waxing.
this was at Shildon.
I'd already told you that.
I wasn't listening to
tell.
you. Yeah, why would I listen to you? So this is 08911.
You were so upset, weren't you? You were going to go on
I
this.
was going to go on that on the Sunday, and it broke down with an electrical issue.
Yeah.
We'd
Saw
have done
you
it.
coming.
You could have licked it better.
I would have, but they wouldn't let me near.
Yeah.
Because they knew I'd not let go if I got to cuddle it.
Yeah, this was at Shildon. Yeah, Tim Railways, New Junction. New Junction. New Junction. Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes.
It needs a refit. It does not. It's perfect as it is.
Yeah, that second guards van at the back there, that one there needs a bit of a repaint.
Give it a lick, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's got a hat on.
RG Models 86 met the Gronk Overlord last weekend at the Didcot Railway Centre. My goodness. What kind of Gronk team have we got coming on now?
What kind of Gronk madness was
the
this?
Over Gronk.
Yes. Is this a response to Dr. No Gronk, Nick?
Well, we have to form the Gronk Army, don't we?
The Gronk Alliance.
Gronk Army. Gronk Army.
Ah. Oh, I love a good Gronk. I'm really looking forward to the Class 13s from Bachmann. Now, I do have 13003 on order from the Bachmann to run around here. I'm in some respect, I'm glad they did 13003 because I made 13002. But I'm telling you now, this is my top pick. If somebody like Rails of Sheffield doesn't do 13002 as a special in BR green, but with Top's number, I could see that as being a collector's club model. So watch this space. Apparently they're selling really, really well. So if Class 13 is a must-have item, don't dilly-dally. RG Models says the Gronk Overlord did say that Iron Horse Railways was on his radar, so beware, Craig.
Can we please remember, everyone, that Iron Horse Craig and Dr. No Gronknik may look similar, but they are different people.
Is this like how Gandalf and you, people suspect they're the same person? But
I'll have you know.
We've got a picture.
Yes.
Well, go and get the picture. We need to provide proof. Go and get the picture. There is a photograph, it does exist, of the Cupboard Monkey and Gandalf next to each other at an event. Now, I'm sending the Cupboard Monkey to be able to show this, because I want to dispel rumours that the Cupboard Monkey and Gandalf are the same person. Bachmann Winter announcements Wednesday, November the 5th, I've been told, says Andy Fryer's Junction. Really looking forward to that. I think it will see, ta-da, Class 13s in the shops tomorrow. That's what I'm thinking. I wouldn't be surprised if they've got a warehouse full of Class 13s ready to go. Right. Anywho.
I had to move 2 photos because...
Did you? So like you with Chris Barry is... right. Oh, God, that's dusty. Let me just wipe that off. Right. Can I just serve up proof that... You might need to make me full screen.
I'll press the Jenny can.
Yeah, go on then. You do that.
I can't find it.
Oh no. There you go. So there is unmistakable proof that Gandalf and the Cupboard Monkey are 2 separate people. There you go. No, it's not a Photoshop job. That's Gandalf. Gandalf and the Cupboard Monkey.
I look a bit thinner there. It might be a Photoshop job.
No, that was a long time ago at an event.
It was.
And look, Gandalf's got his hand around her. Ooh. So there we go. Right. Do you know what I really fancy after this?
What?
Lasagna.
I've already had some.
What? When?
I cooked up some lasagna, and you were asleep, so I didn't offer you any because you'd wake up. So guys, we're at the 5 minutes to 9 mark, so at this point I'd just like to say a big thank you to TMC, the Model Centre, for sponsoring us. And we'll put a VT on.
We're proud to be sponsored by the Model Centre, your ultimate destination for great models and the home of model customization for enthusiasts around the world. Starting your first layout? Perhaps you're perfecting a lifelong build with passion. You'll find everything you need in one shop, from brand new locomotives and rolling stock at market-leading prices to an amazing selection of pre-owned model listings, uploaded live every day on the website at 5 p.m. Seeking more realism? TMC's talented workshop team offers professional weathering and realistic detailing. Explore top brands, expert advice, and a community that shares your love of the hobby, in-store or online at themodelcentre.com. So there we are. Raymond Leggs says, she's a super grunk, she's super grunky.
Gronks.
Do love a bit of Rick James. So there we go. Thanks all. Great stream again this evening, Night All, says David Scott. J. Paul Anderson says, oh, Sir Ian, how nice. I thought it was Roger Scruton at first. I know who Roger Scruton is, actually. He's an Australian philosopher, and I have some of his books downstairs, what with me having a degree in philosophy.
You're a philosopher.
Yeah.
Philosophizer.
Yeah. Do you want chips with that? So there we go. And what have we learned today? Well, we've talked a lot about the David Clarke Railway.
And that we shouldn't eat yellow snow.
No, we learned that a long time ago. Anybody interested? Rimmer and the cupboard monkey there. So, you know, she gets around.
That was a Comic-Con.
Yes. Whereas the one with Gandalf was a private function.
Yes. Private function for private people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was at Manchester Comic-Con, in fact, which is why it says MCM in the background.
Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. So,
I had to wait for an hour to get that.
Did you? How long did you have to wait to get a photo with Gandalf?
About 2 minutes.
Why?
Because I was a VIP at the time.
Were you? So
I was still on the council back then, and he was at a council function.
Oh, right. So he made a beeline to you, and he went, I know you.
No, he noticed the giant queer near the door.
Yeah. Biscuit convention. Yes, no doubt. But no, what have we learned? David Clarke Foundation Railway, the Shuttlewood Clarke Foundation, David Clarke Railway. Write to the address details. Have a look at SHGP Media's video for all the details, and also check out the Not Lobia Facebook page. And if you're in the area on a Friday, 10 till 3, get yourself down there and tell everybody in the cafe and the charity shops that you're there because of the railway. So
say it loud, say it proud, say it often.
Exactly, and hopefully we can change things around. So I feel confident we can do something.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Flymo Chairman 1 and Ham Shackleton as well, sharing the details. So, location of the David Clarke Railway: Ulverscroft Grange, Whittock Road, Copter Oak, Markfield, and that's LE679QB, which anybody who's not in the UK going, what? That's postcode, zip code type thing.
It's not a zip code, it's a postcode.
I just said it's a postcode, which is a zip code type thing.
They're different things.
Yeah, but they achieve the same results.
To an extent.
Okay. So, what are you playing tonight?
Because it's the Halloween week, we are doing an entire week of Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Yeah, okay. So,
it's horror. It's got zombies
in it.
Yeah, I
know. On PS2, is that?
It is on the PS2.
All right.
And thank you once again to Zantec for sending in a PS3 to the show.
Oh, wow. That is incredibly generous. Mm-hmm. So, anywho, the Teapot of Time is running low on the elixir of being botheredness. So, it's time for me to say we're going to be winding down here, but you'll be given a prompt to head on over to the Game Hammer Classic Gaming All Request Monday for some retro gaming goodness. Just follow the prompt, and you will find yourself where the
confronted by zombies.
You'll be found yourself confronted by fun. Yes. So if you can take the fun, that's where you need to be. But until next time, we've got this week. I've got top 5 modelling materials that you can't do without. Look out for that on Wednesday. And on Friday, we have got the next part of the Weir Yard rebuild. It's going great. You'll not want to miss this. It's going to be the water, and I've got some great new techniques to share with you. So don't miss that. As always, hit the like button, consider sharing to social media, and subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to try and make sure that you keep up to date on the great video content. And until next time, you guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.
The train now departing is the 9 o'clock service to... where shall we go this time? Let's go to the unnamed layout that Jenny said had a name, but it turned out it didn't have a name. Stopping at Bolton Trinity Road, Eindhoven, Botswana, Packham on the back, Hubberton on the hill. Let's have a ring round all the way to Minith Tatis, Tatis Newydd, Minith Tatis Newydd, and then all the way to Pittsburgh somehow. Well, then we come back via all change at 3 cocks for Lord Hereford's Knob, and then we'll go on via Weir Yard and Grove Street Yard to the unnamed layout that Jenny said had a name and told it didn't have a name. That's the 9 o'clock service to the unnamed layout that Jenny said had a name and it turned out it didn't have a name.
You finished?
Ooh. If you go up to the loft today, be sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night. He's off now to do my show. See you later. Good night, Grandad.
Oh, yes, of course. Good night. Where's the biscuits?
Yes, there is a kink on that track. My track laying 6 years ago was not necessarily the best. Yes, kinky. But as you'll see, that view has changed substantially with the extra track for another train to continuously run. Really quite pleased with that, to be honest with you. Yes, Stevie Film, every Friday at the moment we've got the next update in the build. I've actually filmed way ahead, so just look out for the various bits and pieces as they come up. Another video's coming on Friday, and I think it's going to be the water feature on the mountain. It's been filmed a little bit out of order with the others, so I built the mountain, did the bit that you saw last week, and then immediately moved on to doing some of the other stuff in between. And actually, I think it works better if we put the water video, which I then filmed probably about a week later, several videos ahead, doing that as part of the mountain. So that's hopefully what's coming on Friday. On Wednesday, I've got a top 5 modelling materials you can't do without video. And hopefully there'll be some really useful products in that you guys will find useful. As this view is new, I've left this view on for a bit. It's really good for just watching the trains glide through, especially as we've got 4 trains running on the lower level now instead of 3. And it puts right what actually from very early on I felt actually this needed to get sorted. Hello. So, I just had word that we are going live on Gamehammer Classic Gaming. So, thank you so much for coming in for this Monday Club Live. Thank you to Steve at SHGP Media as well. Gamehammer Classic Gaming continues your live streaming goodness. Be sure to click the button and you'll be helped right on over. But from me here at We Are, just got time to say, take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.